Hello friends, and welcome back to Photoshop. Hold on a minute. That's not right. Where's Minecraft? This is supposed to be Minecraft footage? Hold on. No, I'm kidding. I cracked myself up. We're doing something special today. I decided to teach myself animation. Yep, that's right. No, I didn't decide to really teach myself animation from scratch or anything. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you may know that I went to college, and I went to college for animation. The only difference is I went for 3D animation, which is not quite the same thing as frame by frame. But I had this sort of delusion that since I could do 3D animation, I could do frame by frame animation too. You know, just right off the bat, I could just do it. So, that's what I decided to do today. You'll see here I am in Photoshop doing this. Photoshop is not inherently animation software. It's more for like photo editing and illustration and stuff, but it does have animation features. You can do frame by frame animation on here. As far as I can tell, you can't do like tweening animation on here. Maybe you can. If you can, I don't know how. As far as I can tell, you can only do frame by frame, but that's what I wanted to do today anyway, so it's not a big deal. I don't have any other animation software for this kind of thing, so Photoshop is what we're working with. And if you're watching the screen right now, you'll notice I am doing the very famous ball bounce animation. It is like a rite of passage, I think, at this point for animators. You have to make a ball bounce animation at some point in your life. I made one in college too. It was a 3D ball though, and it was pretty cool. I think mine came out pretty good. We sent it through an obstacle course and stuff. That was fun. I did not do that today. There is no obstacle course, but it bounces. So, I mean, I think that's like the same thing. Anyway, this video was a process. It took a lot of effort to make. Also, I almost threw my computer out the window making this. I was having a grand old time animating these things. You're gonna see 4 animations by the end of this video. 4! I made a whole 4 things, and I think I did a pretty good job for one of my first times ever really animating like this. But I almost threw my computer out the window because I was minding my own business, you know, I was working away, I was in the zone. I made 2 different ball bounces, which you're gonna see the side by side of them coming up, and I'll explain the kind of difference. And I made an animation of Rift, me, hi. What I didn't realize though was when I was saving this first ball bounce animation, I gave it a date with my number pad, which is where my streaming hotkeys are. And so on the recording software, it changed to one of my Twitch loading screens. So 2/3 of my recording is just Twitch loading screens. I'm not upset about it. Anyway, here is the first ball bounce animation. This is entirely hand-drawn. I drew each frame by itself. Now you're seeing where I only drew the first ball, and the rest of the frames, it is just that ball with a transformation on it, pretty much. I have a comparison here, and there it is. This is Rift coming up right here. This is the only footage I have of her. It's me adding the yellow chains to her horn because I forgot those. I lost everything else. But there she is. Look how cute she is. She's just smiling away. She's having a grand old time. Much better of a time than I was having once I realized that the recording was wrong. Dude, I was so mad. I was so mad because I made 3 animations and it was about an hour and 20 minutes. Like, I was in the zone, and I only have footage of one of the 3. So the second ball bounce and the whole process of animating Rift is just gone. It's just lost forever. So that was gonna be the whole video. It was gonna be the process of those 3 animations. But since I lost 2 of them, I couldn't be the whole video anymore. So we got a bonus, super secret 4th animation. And I decided to animate Minto, give her some spotlight here. She's gonna do, this is the most complicated one. She's gonna do a really cool thing. You're gonna be so impressed when you see it. This took me an hour and a half to make, just this one, so it took longer to make this one by itself than all 3 of the other ones combined. But I think it came out pretty good for what I was doing. You'll notice I gave them really simple eyes, because no one has time to animate the detailed eyes I draw normally. No one has time for that. The whole drawing is really simplified, so it fits, you know? And I think they came out pretty good. I feel like a podcaster again. I'm honestly really considering starting a podcast at this point. I mean, VoiceOver Rift is used so much these days. I think I could have a real career in doing a podcast. I could bring Minto, we could do it together. We would be sensational, I think. You know, we could talk about average podcast topics. I don't really know what average podcast topics are. I don't really watch podcasts. I want to be a podcaster all of a sudden. And I have nothing to base that on, because I very rarely ever watch podcasts. I'm more of like a working to music person, or like a YouTube video that I'm planning to watch. I'll put that on in the background. It's very rarely ever a podcast. Except, I have started watching recently on YouTube, but it counts as a podcast, I think. If any of you have watched the Best in Jest podcast, they're hilarious. I don't know why they stuck and no other podcast did, but they're hilarious. You should check them out if you haven't. I can't guarantee they're family friendly. I honestly don't pay attention that much, I guess. So, if they're not, I apologize. If you don't care, that's great. But you should check them out. But anyway, how are all of you doing today? You can see me working away on Minto here. I decided, you know, why don't we just ramp up the difficulty of this one like tenfold, you know? Let's not do a simple blink and a smile anymore. Let's make her whole head move. Every piece of her head's gonna tilt to the side. And so that meant the head had to turn, the ears, the hair, the face, it all had to move. And I just moved them all together. But then I'm gonna go back in and I'm gonna add some secondary motion to everything. So it's pretty cool. But I don't know why I decided I was just gonna be capable of doing that all of a sudden. I went from very simple ball bounces to thinking, I'll just animate the whole upper half of Minto, you know? Why not? I told you, delusional. I am a master animator in my head. Like, totally professional. But I do think it came out pretty good at the end. You'll get to see it, and then I'll have all 4 on the screen at one time for you to look at. I think I brushed over the ball bounces a little quickly, so you're gonna get to see those again later. I don't have the visuals for them right now, obviously, because you're watching Mint, but I wanted to explain them a little bit more, because I kind of really ran through that piece, because I was busy being a little bit angry. Anyway, there was a difference between the two. One was completely hand-drawn, frame-by-frame animation, which just meant when I went through, I drew every one of the frames. There weren't that many of them, but I drew all of them. The second one, I kind of got lazy on. I wanted to do the 2 different processes, and I realized it wasn't turning out quite how I wanted, so I cut out one of the bounces, so it only bounces 1 time instead of twice. But I think it gets the point across. I only drew the first frame. I only drew the initial ball. The rest of the frames are a duplication of that ball, just stretched or squashed depending on where they are in the animation. So I still made each of the frames, hence the frame by frame part, but I only drew one of them. I think they both work. It depends on the kind of look you're going for. The second one, where you only draw one frame, you're gonna get more consistency and smoothness in the shape of the ball. The other one, you're gonna get a sketchier look, but you risk like inconsistencies in like the shape and size of the ball itself, which you can see in mine, because mine gets smaller as it goes. The ball is significantly smaller at the end than it was at the beginning of the animation, which I can pass off as maybe the ball is bouncing away from the camera. That wasn't the initial idea, but it works that way. But that just shows, especially if you're just starting at this, you're gonna probably have inconsistencies in your drawings. But I think it makes it cute. I just whacked my mouse. Now my finger's broken. Okay. Anyway, I think it looks cute, and I like that sketchy look. I've always liked that look from frame-by-frame stuff, so I'm probably gonna stick to doing it that way for most things. Minto's is kind of a hybrid of the two here, just because, like, her head, I didn't redraw her head. I just took it, duplicated it, and tilted it for the animation, and I didn't draw any of, like, the details on her hoodie again. But I did redraw, like, her arm each time. And you'll notice the difference between the two, because the head stays exactly the same throughout the whole thing. But the parts that I animate independently, like the wispies of her hair and the movement of her shoulders, they change details through each. And so part of them looks a bit rough, because I haven't done this before, but I think it adds to the charm, you know? I think it's cute. I think she's so cute. Look at her little face. Look at her just bobbing over there. She's so cute. I got inspired to do this video by Viora here on YouTube. Recently, like 2 weeks ago or something, she also tried frame-by-frame animation, and hers came out really cute. And I was so impressed, and so I decided I'm gonna do that too. And so here we are. I would like to do this again sometime too. You know, if we keep practicing together, someday we'll all be master animators. It's so crazy. We can make, like, animated, like, full cartoons, you know? Those might take, like, 2 years if I'm the only one working on it, but that's okay. You know, 2 years per one episode, but that's okay. You can't rush a masterpiece like this, you know? If it takes me an hour and a half to do this little motion with Minto, it's definitely gonna take me 2 years to make an episode of a show. But that's okay. Anyway, I don't really know what to yap about, like, for the animation specifically. I'm just kinda doing my thing, you know? I'm just going. I tried to use some of the techniques I learned in college. I didn't use all of them. I planned to use more of them, and then I kind of just didn't, you know? I kind of just went with whatever felt natural, but I did try to use some, namely like the squash and stretch in the ball animations, which means that as the ball is falling, it stretches to make it look like it's going faster, and then it squashes when it hits the ground. It's, I think most people that do animation, they know that one. If you do animation professionally, you know a lot more than I do. But most people, when they're practicing ball bounces and stuff, they learn about the squash and stretch. In Rift and Mint, I tried to do the anticipation and the overshoot, which just meant that, like, you're watching Minto here, before she tilts her head to the left, she tilts it slightly to the right beforehand, and that's the anticipation of the motion. It's used a lot in 3D stuff, at least that's what we were taught. And then the overshoot is her head goes a little further than the end position, and then it bounces back, and so it's this overshoot. and it kind of just gives her a little bit more bob, a little bit more life in her motion. And so each of the pieces I draw has the anticipation and an overshoot. Like her hair goes the opposite direction initially, just like her head, and then it overshoots at the end. You might be able to see it in the animation. They're supposed to be somewhat subtle. You don't want it to be super in your face, because then your animation's gonna look choppy, and it looks a little choppy anyway, because, well, this is the 4th animation I've ever done, but you don't want it to look super choppy, you know? I'm adding little sparkles to hers. I added a little heart to Riff, so I thought I'd give Minto some sparkles, you know? It's so cute. I don't mean to brag, but it's so cute. Also, this is really long. This is a really long yap session again. I had intended to make this video, like, live. Like, talk and animate at the same time. But I realized I do not draw fast enough for that. You know, I would have been yapping and drawing for an hour and a half on one animation. No one wants to sit here that long, so VoiceOver Rift is back at ya again, minus the sprite, because I wanted you to actually pay attention to the video, you know? I didn't put all this work in for nothing, people. You better be looking. There's a quiz at the end. I hope you were paying attention, because there's a quiz. I'm gonna do it right now, actually. Question 1. Give me a minute. I'll think of something. Question 1. The ball bounce that is recorded, which one was it? Was it the frame-by-frame one that I drew by hand completely, or was it the one that I only drew the one ball? You have 30 seconds. You have less than 30 seconds. You have about 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. If you said that it was the one I drew entirely by hand, you'd be correct. I'm so proud of you. That concludes the quiz, because this time lapse is almost over. You're about to see Minto's finished product, and I'm gonna do my outro right now so that I have time. Look how cute she is! Oh, it's so cute. I'm so happy. Anyway, you're gonna see all 4 right now. And until my next stream or video or short, please come back for all. Thank you, and adventures out there. Bye!